Hello and welcome, everybody. We're here for our first interview of the second series, and I have got two incredible guests. I'm not going to tell you about them. I'm going to hand over to them and let them tell you all about themselves. So, ladies, thank you very much.
Hi, thank you so much for having us. We're excited to be here. I'm Shreyaa Venkat. I'm 18 years old, and I am a sophomore at Georgetown University, majoring in global health.
And I'm Esha Venkat. I'm 15 years old and I'm a junior at Broadway High School. And we both are the founders of a nonprofit called Nest for Us, which we formed as a philanthropic platform built upon kindness, generosity, and social good. And through our 5 core programs, we focus on different things like sustainability, quality education, and leadership, as well as kindness.
So that's a little bit about you. Now, I'd like to know a bit more about Nest for Us. So when did you start it?
Yeah, so we started Nest for Us in 2016 when I was 13 years old and Isha was 10. If you didn't guess already, we are sisters. I'm older by 3 years. And yeah, so it's exciting to have Nest for Us and work as a sister team running Nest for Us.
Yeah, and like when we first formed it, it was in 2016. It was just us, 2 kids with just one goal, right, to help those in need. And now 5 years later, it's just crazy to even think it's been 5 years already. But we're so proud that our volunteer family has grown to over 2,000 people of all ages and backgrounds who contributed over $1 million in valuable volunteer hours. So we're just so thankful for our volunteer family, and they're really like the backbone of Nest for Us. And just it's been crazy to just be on that journey and then end up where we are today, and we're just so thankful. So
I love how it's your volunteer family. I absolutely love that, and I can see from I've been following you for quite a while now, and I can really see from your posts and everything that comes out on social media that it really does seem like one big wonderful family. Like it's absolutely incredible to see from the outsider's point of view. So I imagine from the insiders it must be incredible as well.
Thank you.
it is.
So what we know it started 5 years ago. What was the inspiration behind it? What inspired you?
Yeah, so since we were young, giving back to the community was something that we did a lot with our family, and was something that was really invested in us starting at a young age. So like our mom would bring us along to volunteer at different school, library, community events, things like that, even back in elementary school when we were so young. And that's really when we were first introduced to like the world of community service, and we're taught what it meant to serve others.
Yeah, and we had so much fun giving back with our own family that we wanted to create a space where other families and other friends could experience the same joy and the same fun that we did when we served others. Regardless of how old you are, how much money you have, none of that really mattered to us. It was the fact that we were going and helping someone. And so that was really why we decided to create Nest for Us.
Yeah, also when we decided to create Nest for Us, a lot of different organizations doubted our ability to make a difference simply because we were so young. Like we were just 13 and 10, right? It's like, how could we make an impact?
Yeah, but even though these adversities have created huge obstacles in our service journey, they've also motivated us to foster a community built upon mutual respect, inclusivity, and understanding. All these core values of just being empathetic to people and understanding where someone else, even if it's a stranger, what their lives are like and how we can best help others in need. And so as young women of color, we really just want to show people that you don't have to be an adult or have a job or have any special skills, or as we just had a workshop about this, even be a superhero to make a positive impact on someone's life.
For sure. So like now really our goal through Nest for Us is to make sure that none of our volunteer family face the same discrimination that we did when trying to achieve our goals. So we really want to create service opportunities for anyone and everyone through those 5 core programs. And through that, we've been able to inspire so many people to follow their passions and harness the power of community to really change the world, which has been super special to us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know I do a bit of volunteering myself. I work with refugees in the UK, giving classes online, and it is something that we try to instill, with our daughter, with our students, that it's not about giving money necessarily. A lot of people think, oh, to help people in need, I need to have all this money that I can give to people. It's more. From how I feel, it's more time is far more important. Give your time and have the feeling that you get from that, and the feeling that other people get from that, it's an incredible feeling. And that when you're volunteering together, when you're with a group of other people doing it, it is that whole community like effect and experience that I don't know. It's an amazing bond. That it's a unique bond as well. It's not one that you'll ever get with any amount of money. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, we always like to say like the three things that everyone needs to have in order to give back, or to give back, is passion. Number one, very, very important to have passion and really love what you're doing. Number two, is a giving heart. You want to be able to give for the sake of giving, and then making the time for it, because like you were saying, it's the idea that, oh, I'm going to put others' needs as a priority. Of course, self-care, super, super important, but also taking the extra step to go help someone in need just shows how much you really do care. And that is the whole idea of giving back. And that's something that we want to change the mindset of people, saying giving back shouldn't be for some other extrinsic motivation. It should be for the sake of, oh, I feel so good when I give back and I'm helping someone else feel good too. So that's the whole idea, we feel, is the whole idea of giving back.
Yeah, and most of the time, the people that we serve, more than the food that we give them, it's really the love that we share with them, like sitting down and listening to them and hearing their stories, and like just being there for them and being their family, really. That's really what Nest for Us is all about. Like a nest, like a bird's nest is like a family, right? So we really wanted to be like a family for people. And like you said, you know, showing that love and showing that time and really just showing up for them is really the most important thing for us. So we definitely agree.
Absolutely. I mean, today I was in the supermarket. It's a very small thing, and there's a lady who stands outside the supermarket begging for money because she wants to go in and buy food. It happens all across the world. And when she went in there, she obviously has some literacy problems, and you know, she couldn't figure out which butter was the cheapest butter. And it's small things like just stopping and taking the time and just saying, look, this is the one, you know, this is the one that you need, and you know, giving a hand. And she didn't have a trolley either, so she had all of her things in her hand. So go in and get in the trolley. It doesn't have to be some huge event that everybody goes to. It is also those, you know, there's random acts of kindness as well. I think that is something that, you know, I mean, you promote them as well, obviously, but it's something that people kind of forget when they're thinking about helping others. They automatically think, oh, if I'm going to help, I have to go to this food drive, or I have to go to this building shelters, or I have to do it in your everyday life. Do it when you see someone in need, help them. If someone needs help getting off the bus, help them off the bus. It's not a huge thing, and don't do it to post it on social media. Don't do it to do that there. Do it because that person needs to get off the bus. It's
Exactly.
What's your biggest goal, should we say?
I think our original aim really for starting Nest for Us was always to just help people and spread kindness however we could. Even if it was just like writing down some notes, tutoring a kid, like you said, like opening a door for somebody or helping somebody off a bus, right? And that really hasn't changed, not even 5 years later.
And it's great that we can continue serving with that mindset and also collaborating with other amazing nonprofits. I see your hat, Kids Against Plastic, is one of the ones we work with in the UK, different businesses and everyone else in between, because we always believe that there's no such thing as a small act when we do it together, especially when it comes to tackling the UN SDGs. And if we go back to your example about making that small impact, you might think that it's really small, but to that person, it could mean the whole world. And that's why we always like to say 30 seconds of kindness is all it takes. And that really could mean the world for someone. And so you never know what someone is going through. And so doing these little acts of kindness, even if you don't think is going to make a difference, truly does make a difference. And you can take it from us.
Yeah, because imagine if all 7 billion of us or 8 billion of us or however many people there is in the world did something nice for someone else every single day. Imagine how much brighter their world would be, even if it was just a small thing like holding open the door. Like if everybody did that, the world would it would truly be so much more amazing. And that's really what we want people to live by, you know, small acts really making the biggest impact, and kindness becoming sort of like a lifestyle, like an everyday thing.
Yeah, and there's kind of the inverse of that as well. So the thing that you mentioned, holding a door for someone, it takes nothing to hold a door for someone, and they'll smile and be happy and they'll come through it. But if you don't hold the door for that person, if you just let the door go and let it close in their face, then it's going to have that kind of opposite effect on them as well, isn't it? So rather than their day being like that, they'll be thinking, why couldn't that person just hold the door open for me? That was unnecessary that they let it close. So, you know, you can make somebody's day fantastic by that small thing you do, but you can also, if you don't do a small nice thing, if you just completely forget there's other people, it can have that kind of adverse effect as well, which is never cool, let's be honest.
Exactly.
So we've talked about what you want to achieve. Now, I'd like to know what some of your biggest achievements are to date. Now, I can't list all of your achievements because I've looked at them all, and oh my goodness, like by the time I was your age, I think I had, I don't know, a few swimming certificates. I'd won a few games of football. I've been voted in the school president. That did happen by the time I was your age. But yeah, I think that's about it. That was about my list of achievements, and they were all on a personal level. There weren't anything grander than that. I think something amazing about the world today is the youth movement, is seeing the wonderful things that people can achieve. I mean, we can see behind you, you've got medals and certificates all over the place. They're incredible and wonderful. You've received many awards. I encourage everybody to go and have a look in your link tree on LinkedIn and go to your website and look at the amazing things that these two wonderful young humans have done. But what would you say are some of your biggest achievements?
Yeah, over the years, we've definitely had a lot of success stories that we're so grateful for. But I think our most important one has definitely been the growth of our volunteer family and how diverse it's become over these years. I mean, we've had kids as young as 4 and adults as old as like 70s and 80s. And just having that community is something that is so special to us. And it's definitely one of our greatest achievements for us.
And yeah, really just one glimpse at our volunteer family brings us so much hope for the future of humanity. We all come from different places. We've actually been able to expand globally. So, I mean, people from different countries, different states, all coming together, right? But when we come together to serve, we all have that one common goal, even if we do come from all these places. And that's what makes that diversity aspect so important, is we have different values and different beliefs, but when we come together with that one common goal of helping others in need, there's so much power. And we always like to say the power of people. When people come together, we can truly change the world. And that is especially true with youth. When youth are believed in, when people believe in the power of youth, and when they come together, so much positive change can be done in the world.
Yeah, we've also had some amazing opportunities to speak at places like Facebook headquarters and the Gates Foundation, different lead national conferences, as well as featured on sources like the Today Show, People Magazine, and Variety. And it's just, we're so grateful for each and every one of these. And they're all truly dedicated to our volunteer family and like the entire community support, because without them, none of what we would do would be possible. So
yeah, and it's an opportunity. Every single recognition is an opportunity for us to share our story. And that's the most important thing, is spreading the awareness, right? Spreading that awareness aspect. And going back to the earlier point is with success, right? We really believe that success is measured by hard work and dedication. So we really want to be known for that impact we make on people's lives through service, not for personal recognitions or awards. That's not the reason anyone should be doing anything. It should be exact, and that's definitely not the reason why we do what we do. It's doing what we love every day, and being able to share what we love with the people that we love every day is really what really is our biggest accomplishment. Is what has become our purpose in life, is to give that opportunity to people and have them find their passions as well, because we're so lucky to have found ours so early. So we want to really give that opportunity to for people, again,
especially youth,
regardless of how young or old. It's never too early and never too late to start. And so we really just want to give that opportunity for anyone who is passionate about anything at all, for them to be able to go and impact the community in their own special way.
Amazing. So the Gates Foundation, Facebook, Today, people, and now finally you've made it, Renewable English. I mean, who would have thought it? Finally, Renewable English. It's everybody's dream. Everybody's dream.
Honestly, though, this whole series is so amazing because it's really transforming education and showing people that education is not purely things that come out of a textbook. It's real life issues and how can I make my impact on the world? And Renewable English is a perfect way to start, to look at these lessons and be like, oh, I'm so inspired by these people. And I'm inspired to go out in the community and find what is that 1, 2, 3, however many things that I'm passionate about, and how can I go help in my own way? Because I can still make a difference. It doesn't have to be, like you were saying, it doesn't have to be big. It can be my own little thing. I can go do something And that something is going to help at least one person, and that's what matters. And so this is a perfect place to start.
Oh, lovely thing to say. So as this episode, this first series of this second series, it is all about the Sustainable Development Goals, as we mentioned. Now, as I was saying before we came on here, I could probably interview you guys for about 12 of them at least. But I've spoken to you today to talk about the first one, about no poverty. Now, a lot of people think no poverty means people far away who can't eat any food. You know, that kind of is the immediate image. I mean, yes, extreme poverty in a lot of cases is that. But of course, poverty is a lot more than that. Poverty is when you can't really figure out how you're going to make it from one day to the next. You know, when it's time to go back to school and you can't afford to pay for your sons or your daughters or your child's school supplies. So I'd like to know from you guys, I've seen a huge amount of what you've done helping in the community. So what can we do to prevent poverty at home and around the world, both on an individual scale, and what do we need to do to prevent it on a larger scale, a collective scale?
Yeah, so individually, there's actually a lot that one can do to achieve no poverty in their daily lives, like you said, like at home, right? That really helps on a larger scale. So there's a lot of different angles that you can take when helping like accomplish this goal, because no poverty is something super broad. You know, like you said, it's not just, you know, that person from far away who can't eat. There's so many things that go into no poverty that we can all help with. And it's really cool. Like, and the biggest one I think for us is really providing those essential resources and services for people in poverty, which is some of the stuff that we do every day. So like in terms of food, you can like serve meals to the hungry, donate to different food pantries, assemble different food bags. Like we have service projects for us where we pack like different sandwich bags and like treat bags and all sorts of things like that. Rice bags, exactly. So that's a great way to help people who may not have access to food, which is a huge part about no poverty as well. But there's also helping during crises like the COVID-19 pandemic, of course, like providing masks, hand sanitizer, gloves, like PPE, which is like personal protective equipment. Those are all great ways to support people, because a lot of the times there's people who are on the streets or who are living or just waiting for these sort of supplies to keep themselves safe. So that's a super easy way to like go grab some masks at the store and give them to people that you see. So and then in terms of education, like you were saying, school supplies, you know, even in our county, like we live in the richest county in America. And it's still so crazy to think that there's so many people who are living in poverty, even in our own schools and across our community. So school supplies is a huge thing, even providing like those books and academic resources and things like that, and tutoring and teaching people in need, like what you do. Those are all amazing ways to help, even if it's just one book, one pencil, like that still makes a huge difference. And probably one of the most important ones is first educating yourselves on what no poverty is and what you can do in your own community. You know, reading the news and following different pages on social media about the SDGs or about no poverty and how to help people, and just learning maybe on the UN website as well are all really good ways to get yourselves, you know, the right facts and information that you can use to make sure that you know all the information that you can share with others so that they can help as well, and really just spread that ripple and encourage people to do what they can, however they can, to help this issue.
Yeah, so those are all amazing ways to individual, but for the larger scale, looking at the larger scale, what can we do as a society? Of course, one of the best ways that we all can do to prevent poverty is spreading awareness, like Esha was saying. That is something that all of us can do, regardless of wherever we're in the world. And that taking that first step to get the word out there about not only the issue at hand, right, but more importantly, the solutions that people can implement in their own communities. That can lead to eventual magnified change. And in addition to this, some tools people can utilize to prevent poverty on a larger scale include increased administration of continued quality educations, that education component, right? The equitable access of quality healthcare, that is becoming extremely important, especially in the current day and age. Improved means of accessing clean water and sanitation. Again, super, super important, especially with the climate report coming out, right? We all want to make sure that we're doing our part, our individual part. And if we all do our individual part, that's going to help on a larger scale as well. And then Last, but certainly definitely not least, is youth involvement. And that's probably one of the most important ones, because youth are known for believing more in action than words. And we are the future. We're the hope of the future. And we're going to be inheriting this planet in the very near future. And so this pandemic, one of the silver linings is it's given the human race an even greater chance to make significant amends on what's considered normal, right? That idea of normal is something that we can now change to become a new normal, a new, better normal. And so by amplifying these youth voices and giving opportunities for young people to take on leadership roles through civic engagement, right? Using civic engagement as a superpower, society will truly be able to prioritize the most pressing issues facing humanity today.
Like no poverty.
Like no poverty, exactly, in order to build the best future possible. So
that's brilliant. That is absolutely fantastic. I saw a tweet today, as I'd spent an awfully large portion of my life on social media, an embarrassing amount of time, to be honest. But anyway, so I saw a tweet today, and it was, why do people always talk about getting in a time machine and going back to the past and changing one small thing to make a huge difference to the present? Why don't they just make that small change now to make a huge difference in the future? I just thought, I've never thought about that, but so many people say that, oh, if I could go back in time, I'd go back and I'd stop this and then this wouldn't happen. It's like, cool. So why don't you stop that now so it doesn't happen in the future?
exactly.
But anyway, it was on a shower thoughts page, I think it was called. So yeah. Anyway, that's that. That was my closing thought for that one there. Thank you so much for all of your insight today, and thank you so much for coming on today and sharing with us all of your ideas and everything you're doing. But more than that, thanks for what you're doing in general. Thank you for the huge strides you're taking and the massive difference that you're making, not only in your communities, but also across the globe with the different education you're providing people with. I saw just last week you had a program on with Kids Against Plastic. Just all of these different things you're doing. As a human, I am proud to share you as another human. It's just incredible to see the things you're doing, and I'm very proud of you. And I imagine everybody watching is very proud of you. What you're doing is amazing. Keep doing it, and thank you very much.
No, thank you so much for the opportunity and for those kind words. It's an honor to be here and really to be able to, again, share our story and spread awareness and hopefully inspire even just one person to realize like, oh, I can make a difference. I really can. And if you don't, just remember, we believe in you. We believe that you all have the power to make a difference. So go out there and change the world.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.